Michael Rashford to Chelsea. Arda Güler could potentially be going to Chelsea, and while we see Enzo Fernández go the other way, right? Let's stay. But before we get into all of that, the nitty gritty in terms of transfer regarding Chelsea, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host Nate. Let's talk football. Listen, a lot is happening. Everybody is moving nuts. Now we're seeing Real Madrid put in 150 million bid for Alvarez. None of us saw that coming. We don't. Barcelona already have Gordon right now. There are a lot going on. We know people are moving bit, a little bit slow, right, because of the World Cup and all of that. But we think once the World Cup is done, listen, everybody's gonna start kicking up and everything's gonna be put into place. But again, before we get into right the whole transfer news, Joko came up and said something. Since this video is about Chelsea, right? Let's hear what the Chelsea legend has to say. Joko on Xabi Alonso, you have to give him authority. And you don't know when that authority will come into question. And it will be interesting when the situation arises where the ownership has to either bow down to what Alonso wants or do it their way. I hope it happens early in his tenure where his opinion goes against the board opinion. Hopefully, the board will let him to do the job he was brought in to do. They have to go with him because there is no one in that building with the knowledge, ability, and experience that Xabi Alonso has. You just don't want it to be in another situation like we were in under the previous 4 to 5 manager that this mob has hired. Again, emphasis, mob have hired, right? He couldn't have said it better, right? Well put, well said. Because we've been saying this with the previous managers. Like he said, you bring in people for them to do a certain job. Now you have to back them, you have to support them and let them do the job. You don't interfere, right? It's like you don't interfere with them doing the job. Part of the reason why Enzo Maresca left, part of the reason why what's his name also left, Pochettino. If we are not careful and they try to replicate what they did with this previous manager, we might have the same situation with Xabi Alonso. Now you have somebody that is proven to an extent because we saw you brought in Maresca. Maresca was not proven. Now he has a resume that Maresca did. Let this man do what he can do, right? Support him, back him. Don't interfere. Don't tell him how to coach. Now, if you pay attention to even the way Xabi Alonso play football, the system, the formation, excuse me, that he uses is not even far off from what Chelsea been doing, right? Or Chelsea been trying to implement with Maresca and all of the other people. But if the owners don't allow him to do what we know he can do as a manager, it's done. It's a wrap, right? So, in my opinion, Joe Cole said it better, right? So we move on. Now, Marcus Rashford, again, let's look at what Joko himself said before we start moving to other places again, right? He came out a couple days ago and he said this about Marcus Rashford. It's just a matter of wages and valuation. Rashford takes a lot of boxes, but you don't want to spend a fortune on him. He had do a good job for Chelsea. Now, and then Fabrizio, on the other hand, came up with it. Breaking. Barcelona will not pay 30 million buy option clause for Marcus Rashford expiring in 5 days. Rashford will formally set to return to Man United, but Baga remain open to new solution like another new loan deal. Baga are open to discuss again if Manchester United open the doors. Right? This I think is a slap in Marcus Rashford's face and a slap in Manchester United face because if I give you a player like with the quality of Marcus Rashford, and you cannot pay 30 million for him, and you went and pay 80 million on Anthony Gordon, that we all think, right, is less of a quality than Marcus Rashford. Because in that England squad right now, we know Anthony Gordon is not starting. Rashford has that starting position secured, especially on that left hand side. Right, it's done. It's a wrap. But now you have a situation where in Barcelona go and pay 80 million, and they're saying they cannot pay 30 million for Marcus Rashford. That's a slap in the face. But now, like Joko said, he would do a good job for Chelsea. Is he an upgrade to what we have right now? Absolutely. You have to say he is, because Gittins is not it, or he hasn't been it. Garnacho has been underwhelming, right? Bringing Marcus Rashford in Again, he's 27 right now, at least 28, maybe 29. If you bring in, it's just going to be the matter of wages. He know for a fact he have to bring down his wages. Nobody right now is going to pay him 300 or the 300 plus wages that he was on or he is on at Manchester United. Nobody's going to pay that. Now, if he come to Chelsea and willing to take maybe a 200, 210, 220K a week, right, I think they can make it work. And I think he would be a good fit for Chelsea right now. I think he would be an upgrade to what we have. And that kind of give maybe the like of Jimmy Gittins the time to be able to get adjusted to the Premier League. Because with Gittins, I think the quality is there. He is an elite winger, but he just the Premier League, right? Coming into this league right now and then sometimes makes things or your life even more difficult. So now let me know your thoughts about that. Would you take Marcus Rashford at Chelsea right now? I would, but let me know your thoughts about that. Now, this big news, right, came out. And when I saw it, I was a bit shocked, but not entirely shocked because I didn't expect it, right? Because we all know Arda Güler, right? For Real Madrid, when Xabi Alonso was there, he was one of the main people. It was him, Chouameni, and what's his name, Housen. Those three people, I think, was very important to the way Xabi Alonso played at Real Madrid, right? And now this came out. Here it is. Chelsea are preparing a sensational 100 million move for Real Madrid wonderkid Arda Güler. The Blues are closely monitoring the Turkish star and could launch a blockbuster bid as they look to strengthen their attack ahead of the new season. Listen, right now, before I tell you my opinion about this, let me tell you what exactly. Let me show you this and also tell you what exactly is going to happen. Spanish journalist Jose Alvarez says Enzo Fernández to Real Madrid is advancing. Right. This is what I wanted you to see. What could this mean? Chelsea value Enzo Fernández at 120 million, 120 or 130. And they're willing to put in a bid worth 100 million for Arda Güler, right? Now, either we see something of a direct swap deal going, Enzo Fernández going the other way, Arda Güler coming the other way, or Arda Güler coming and Chelsea get, Madrid gets to pay an extra 20 million or an extra whatever amount of money, right, on it. Would I take Arda Güler at Chelsea? I think I will. If we get rid of Enzo Fernández or Enzo Fernández leave, which we all know he wants to leave, right? And Madrid is also keen on the move. Madrid losing Arda Güler, is it the end of the world for them? No, I don't think so, right? Because you already have a Verde, you already have Chouameni, you already have Jude Bellingham, you already have these quality players already. Now, losing Arda Güler, I don't think it's the end of the world. Now, we losing Enzo Fernández and not replacing him properly, right? It might be a huge problem. Now, I know we are getting excited about Babako, as considering the fact that he had a phenomenal game yesterday, right? We are getting excited about that. But Enzo Fernández, consider what he do for Chelsea, how crucial he is. Since this man came in, he has played at least 3 different positions, played everywhere in the midfield for Chelsea. He is part of every single thing we do. He's crucial. Let him go and not replacing him with a proper attacker. Because if you let him go the other way, bring Arda Güler in, it's almost like a leg for leg swap. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And especially coming to a manager that already rates him, that already know how to use him, that already has a plan for him, I'm all for it. And Arda Güler, free kick, he's there, right? Playmaking, he's also there. He can score. Corner kick, basically, like I said, it's a leg for leg swap because that's exactly the same thing Enzo Fernández can do. But Enzo Fernández, on the other hand, is more of a box to box, right? And I think that's what Madrid needs. So if Madrid coming in for him, we get in Arda Güler, we do a swap. I'm okay with that. But again, let me know your thoughts down below about that. But again, there's more coming your way in terms of transfer from Chelsea. Every other club you can think about. Let me know your thoughts down below again, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. Enzo Fernández to Real Madrid. Arda Güler coming the other way. Would you take Marcus Rashford at Chelsea? Right? Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with what Joko said that the owner should take a backseat and let Xabi Alonso run things at Chelsea? Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe. See you in the next video. Adios. Thanks.